The TechMax Expo 25 is the UK's top tech trade show, bringing together hundreds of IT professionals. It's a great opportunity to strengthen relationships with vendors and distributors while networking with industry leaders. You can explore the latest tech and services for growing your IT business. There is also thousands of pounds of prizes up for grabs. And not only that, it's free to attend the day event. The event takes place on the 27th of June 2025 at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. Features include a live tech awards ceremony, evening retro entertainment, meeting areas and interactive demos. Can you afford not to be one of the 800 IT professionals who are expected to attend? Registration is now open at tftmax.com. Introducing Gamers Beat Cancer, the UK charity using the power of gaming via the gift of gaming to bring hope and support to cancer fighters everywhere. They provide gaming equipment, build supportive communities, and raise funds for vital cancer charities. Join us in levelling up against cancer. Donate, volunteer, or spread the word today. Visit gamersbeatcancer.co.uk and let's have more game on, not game over.
Sonic, the heart of your system.
The TechMax Expo 25 is the UK's top tech trade show, bringing together hundreds of IT professionals. It's a great opportunity to strengthen relationships with vendors and distributors while networking with industry leaders. You can explore the latest tech and services for growing your IT business. There is also thousands of pounds of prizes up for grabs. And not only that, it's free to attend the day event. The event takes place on the 27th of June 2025 at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. Features include a live tech awards ceremony, evening retro entertainment, meeting areas and interactive demos. Can you afford not to be one of the 800 IT professionals who are expected to attend? Registration is now open at tftmax.com.
Sonic, the heart of your system.
You're watching Tech Talk, brought to you by Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Mondays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, TuneIn, Player FM, and others. And now, here's to...
Well, hello everyone. This is Tech for Tech Text Talk. This is a live show, and I've got a big logo on my face, which I just noticed. So let's just hide that out of the way.
And the problem is?
There we go. Yeah, that's probably a benefit actually. So let's start that again. So this is a live show, as you can probably tell, and this is a distributor quarterly show. So, Jen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I am the managing director at Tech for Text.
Well, we're off to a good start here, aren't we? Right, okay.
I almost said Tech Max, but I am that too. So
there we go. You can tell we've had a week off, can't you? So, right, let's turn the chat on and see if everyone on the chat can hear and see us. So we've got evening guys and girls from Christopher. We've got Ken Mosley saying hey everyone, and that's Ken, Prince, and Duke.
Aww.
You've got Welshie Tech saying hello. Gadget Joe saying evening. You got Dan saying evening. I'm guessing he's got a pint of Guinness next to him. And,
if he's reading.
Yes, and Welshie's saying hi to Dan and Joe as well. Right, okay, so I'm guessing you guys can hear us and see us, and you can hear all the mistakes we're making as well. So if you can just let us know. We do realise this is like a 30-second
It's not a mistake. We do it on purpose so that we appear human.
Yeah, exactly. We just like making fools of ourselves. Okay. Right, okay. So we've got Mark as well saying evening all from Rayleigh Computer Store. We've got Cheswick Computer saying evening, and that's Steve. We've got Alison at EADR, which is also one of our sponsors at TechMax this year, and Gadget Joe's and speaking to Dan and so forth. So let's get on with the news.
Yes, the news.
Actually, before we go to the news, let's just introduce who we've got on the show first.
Okay.
So let's go to Spire. So Mike, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do.
Yeah, good evening all. My name is Mike Botto. I'm the Sales and Purchasing Director at Spire Technology.
Right, thank you very much. Let's go over to the guys at Target. I'm guessing it's going to crop. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager at Target.
My name's Cory. Oh, there we go. I'm back in. Commercial Builds Manager for Target.
There we go. Thank you. And last but not least, Elliott at VIP.
Evening, everyone. Well, there you go. I'm Elliott. I'm the sales director at VIP.
There we go. Makes it nice and simple. Right,
it feels like a board of directors meeting, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it, tonight? I think everyone seemed really serious tonight. That logo's back in front of my face again. Why does that keep coming back? Right, okay. It's going to be an interesting one tonight, isn't it? Right, okay.
It always is.
Let's get on with it. So go to the news. So, Jen, if you want to go to the news, and then we'll get on with the show after the news.
Right. Well, let's talk TechMax. And speaking of TechMax, we'll talk about sponsorship. Target, in association with Logix, Pixel, and Prevo, are our main sponsors. So I'd like to give them a real big shout out tonight. And our evening meal is Valkyrie, in association with Origin. And our lanyards are sponsored by EADR, and that's Allison, who's in chat. So we've got other sponsors, that we would like to announce, but we have to wait till clear funds and everything.
Yeah.
We have had some new sign-ins that we're going to announce tonight. We'll start with Haywood Wright, their accounting group. Strong, Green IT Disposal, Recommerce IT, Deep Cool, Antec, Elgato, is that the way you said that?
Elgato, yeah.
Corsair, Lindy, Gecko Gear, and Adesso.
And that's on top of all the other ones that signed up, including Lexar, BPP, Seasonic, Be Quiet, ISL Online, eArmor, Mentor Distribution, get it right, TP-Link, Spire Technology, Gamers Beat Cancer, Kingston Technology, QNAP, VIP, which still awaiting information there, VIP, hint, hint. And we've got EADR, Ducky, Streamplify, Moser Racing, Nitro Concepts, Haven, CoLink, Fantex, Leon Lee, APNX, End Game Gear, Thunder X3, Aerocool, Case King UK, TechPoint Distribution. We've got Valkyrie, Marvo, Target PC Build Services, Prevo, Pixel, Logix, and Target, who are the headline or main sponsor.
And a
of the event.
partridge and a patridge.
And if you haven't booked tickets already, tickets are free. You can pick them up totally free from the website. If you want to go to the evening, there is a nominal fee of £25 for evening tickets. So we are limited on those, though. We're down to about 10% left on the evening tickets. We also got influencers coming as well, still more signed up. And there is a lot more who will be exhibiting than we've actually announced. We've got like about 25 who we haven't announced yet, and there's still more people contacting us. We've had 2 today contacting us. And if you can hear an ambulance, that's nothing to do with me.
Well, I haven't killed him yet.
There we go. Right, okay, so let me just quickly go through a few other things. If you guys aren't aware, we also offer the Geek for Me service. So we launched this about a month ago. We've now got over 100 people who have signed up for it. So it's basically a directory service with landing pages in your areas. So people can basically search for which is the closest store to them. They can use the map, zoom in, however they want to do it, and so forth, and it'll tell them all about them, opening times and stuff like that. And they have their own landing page. All retail stores, tech stores, MSPs are welcome to join up, and you even get a 90-day free. We're not going to lie to you like a lot of these places say that, yeah, you sign up today and then suddenly you're going to be the top of listings and you're going to be everywhere. It takes time for these things to build up, and that's why we're giving you a 90-day free trial at our cost. So if you want to sign up, feel free. We've also got the Plus service as well. So if you are wanting to join our marketing service, which is a Plus, we've got a 7-day free trial on that one. New content every month. This does include the Geek for Me service if you wanted to go for it. The Geek for Me is pretty cheap anyway. The Geek for Me service is $4.99 a month or £45 a year. The Plus service is a little bit more, but again, it's worth every penny.
When you think about it, you can't get a coffee for that.
Yeah, exactly. And just to give people a rough idea of some of the stuff, what's included. So this is some of the media, what's included. So you've got posters you can edit. We've started making it so you can edit them with a free Canva subscription as well. Before you had to have a paid for version, so you can have a free Canva subscription so you can edit them or you can download them, get them printed where you want. There's plenty of different ones on there. We've got around about 50 different ones on there. On top of that, you've got documentation, including cookie policies, internet settings, laptop assembly, and so forth. There's quite a few different things on there. Payment overdue notices. We've also got articles you can email, share on your website, and so forth. So understanding your devices, child safety, maintenance contracts, and stuff like that. And then we've got a video section as well, so there's plenty of stuff in there, RIP Windows 10 and so forth, which you can download and edit if you want to, drag it into Canva and edit it however you want. That's
Some of those articles would be ideal to print out and have ready for when someone picks up their computer to throw in as a little extra.
Yeah, exactly. You could do like a leaflet or a notebook and so forth. Right, let's get on to the main show. So let's talk about what we're here for, and that is basically talk about these distributors and they're going to answer your questions, or hopefully they are anyway. I have a feeling there's going to be 1 or 2 questions what they might not answer. You never know. We've got some interesting ones come through. But basics is, guys, all you in the chat, we'll go through chat in a few seconds. If you've got a question, ideally we want some general questions where they'd fit all 3. Obviously, we will read out if you have a specific question, but we want them more generalized. So what are your plans for the future? How do you deal with this? What's your return policies? Stuff like that. That's all fine, and more interesting ones as well if you've got. No doubt we'll have a few strange ones coming in as well. We usually do. So, right, let me quickly go through the rest of the chat. So we've got Ian saying loud and clear. He's babysitting Bond at the moment, our Labrador, so that's good. Carl's saying evening. We've also got Peter saying hi, Channel Peter. Hi, Channel People from Peter at Scan Station Computers. We've got Richard Creedy saying evening. We've got evening from Justin as well. Robert's saying Robert Inverness says evening all as well, and we've got Superstar go on I'm guessing you've got a fan there. And we've got Cormac looking forward to Tech Max.
Okay.
So right, let's get on with this then. Let's start off with the questions. So guys, send your questions in. More complex, the better. We do have some what came in before the show.
Yeah, we'll start out with one of
If
those.
you want to go with one of those, who's this one from, Jen?
Anonymous.
Okay.
We know things are tight on the distribution side of things. As retailers, we streamline. As retailers, how do we streamline and do things more efficiently? What can we do as your customers to help distributors with us more efficiently?
Basically, I think he's asking how do we act as resellers and help you do things more efficiently. So we'll start with Mike. I told you you'd have the easiest question first, Mike.
Yeah, great. Good evening. So I guess how do you help us? Well, you can spend more with us, I guess. I mean, I think forecasting is really helpful. I think talking to your account manager is an answer that I'm going to default to quite a lot. We put real value at Spire on the relationship and the information that you can pass through your account manager. They are the funnel to which we reach you. So there's a lot going on that you guys can tap into as independent retailers here at Spire, but you won't know about it unless you talk with your account manager, because there are certain schemes that we just can't advertise and support that we can't freely plaster all over the internet and across eShop. So I would say work closely with your account manager in the same way that we would ask our account manager to work closely with you, because I think there's real strength in those relationships.
Okay, that's a good start. Let's pass that on to Target, guys.
Well, I'd probably say similar, actually. The more we know about your business, the easier it is for us to help you. It is, at the end of the day, it's a relationship. The more we understand about what your requirements and what customers are asking you for, the better. Forecasting is always nice, but if we know about your business and we see customers that are doing well on a particular product, then your account manager will always mention that to you, I think. But vice versa as well. If you've got ideas, we could, obviously we can't react to every single idea that comes in, but where we get a number of people saying the same thing, that helps us. It's just, bear with us. Sometimes time expectations can be difficult because obviously there's a lot of different people at play.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Let's go over to Vip.
I mean, firstly, it's quite an interesting change of tact, I suppose. It sums up where the channel and the sector is, that we've got a situation where the resellers are asking us how they can help us, because I mean that's not necessarily been the case. If you look back years ago, it was very much what's distribution doing to support. I think it's nice that there's obviously that camaraderie and that understanding that we're all in it together, I suppose. Efficiency wise, it's challenging. I'd probably echo a lot of what the guys have said. We see what's going on across the channel. We'll see what's working in certain areas, what's not working. So of course, if you're speaking to us, speaking to your account managers, speaking to our product managers, we can of course guide you and advise on what's working and what's not. In terms of how you can help us keep the channel booming, and I suppose the best way to do that is find what you do well and keep doing it. And I know that sounds obvious, but don't just try and compete with Amazon is the honest answer, because if that's all you're doing and that's all I'm doing, is we're just all going to lose. So how can you help us? Finding what you do well, offering those expertise, finding those product categories you drive well in, all those service adds, all that value add that you as an independent reseller can give that the big corporates can't. And if you do that and do it well, you buy more, and that's great for us, because I don't want all my business sitting with sort of a handful of customers.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So let's have a look. So let's just quickly go to chat. So we've got PC Boost saying hello. We've also got Dean Wood saying evening all. And yeah, we've already gone through those ones. So one thing I do have to say before we go any further, otherwise I'll get shot, is today's sponsor of the show is Seasonic. And thank you for Seasonic for supporting the show. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do the show.
Seasonic, the heart of your...
There we go, and feel free to scan the QR code and check out some of their products, like the 2,200 watt power supply that we've got actually in for review, which I've just finished doing. Actually, it's ready to go live.
Wear a back brace when you pick it up.
Yes, exactly. It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Just the cables what come with it are heavier than most power supplies. So yeah, definitely. So right, let's get back onto the main topic then. So first question from the chat we've got Gadget Joe saying, do any of you support dropshipping? Looking to set up an e-commerce website, it's going pretty fast, as a branch of Gadget Joe in the future, as part of the business plan. So basic says, do any of you offer dropshipping? Spire went first last time, so Target's turn.
Yes, we do. We can drop ship. You can take product feeds off us, and you can, those are completely customizable as well. You can basically choose what you want to display, what you don't. You can modify everything yourself, so you can add markup and choose basically prices, right down to vendor, to category, or even down to product level. So yeah, and we will drop ship.
We also offer drop shipping to local stores. And going back to the previous question in regards to making the system a little bit more efficient, we have XML ordering. So if they receive an order on their website, it would automatically come through to the Target website and then just dispatch the product for them. So they wouldn't need to actually log in or speak to anyone.
Okay,
sounds good. Let's go on to Elliott.
Short answer is yes, we do. To give you some idea of scale, I mean, our business has changed quite sizably over the years. Dropship's becoming a bigger and bigger part of what we do. We're doing it on a fairly monstrous scale. So in terms of, all the teething problems that come with starting out on dropship, we've seen many years ago. So and generally all our dropship stuff is going out DPD. We tend to find that's a better end user service than some of the other couriers. So we do use other couriers, but generally speaking, for dropship we'll use DPD, which means if you provide us with the phone number or their email address, then the end user will get all the benefits that come with that service, including tracking and ability to reschedule delivery and that sort of thing, which of course for you then means less pushback, less returns, that sort of thing. So
okay, brilliant, thank you. And over to Mike at Spire.
Yeah, exactly what Elliott said. Really, we also use DPD, so that same experience on offer at Spire. We're also close to having paperwork and delivery notes that we can add in with your order that will match your logo, so we can have custom paperwork put in with those dropship orders, so it very much appears that it's coming from you.
Okay, sounds pretty good. All right, let's go on to the next question then. Next one's from Robert. Do you want to read this out, Jen?
I do. What products do the disties think the independents are not selling as well as they think they should be?
And first one is going to be Elliott on that one, I believe.
It's very challenging to set a sweeping statement because, of course, over the years I've seen that maybe 10, 15 years ago, everyone was just doing computing stuff. And what we've seen is everyone's found their niche over time. The one product area I would say that, listen, everyone talks about AI and it's a very big topic and no one really knows necessarily what direction it's going to go at this stage. It's just if you put it in your presentations, your stock price tends to go up. But the one thing I would say with AI at the minute, this year, we've got Amazon announcing their Alexa Plus, which essentially means that you get AI as part of your smart home service internally. And if you're a Prime member, which many people in the UK are, that's free. Now, what that may well mean is a migration and a bit more of a onboarding for people who live in homes of smart home, more so than we're seeing today. However, I think most people aren't necessarily au fait with what they're doing. And I think as an independent reseller, the ability to service that, whether that is guidance on the products in store, whether that is demonstrations of those products, whether that is maybe going to install them or the service that goes with that and the wraparounds that you can give, is something that they're not going to get necessarily from some of the major retailers, some of the couriers, the B&Qs, the Amazons. And so I feel like maybe that's an area that is a lot of crossover with tech, a lot of crossover with computing, but is a bit different. And I'd like to think that's a good area that mobile independents could tap into.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's move over then. Who was next? Spire. So, same question for you.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me to sit here and make suggestions as to people as to what they should be putting in their stores or selling, because you'll know your area and your clientele much better than I will, and where you want to, the direction in which you want to take your business. I think if I look at our lineup at Spire, I think if I look at the brands that I'd like to see doing more in independent retail, I would say TP Link stands out. Now we have a scheme specifically for retail stores on TP Link, and I'd encourage you to reach out to your account manager at Spire and talk to them about that, because if you're a retailer, you're able to get significant discounts, not only against the e-tailers that you compete with, but chiefly amongst Amazon, which we know is a big hit for TP Link. So yeah, of our lineup, I would say TP Link and ask some questions, and I think we could be doing a lot more in terms of indie retail with them.
Okay, that's pretty good. And Target.
I'm going to go with what Elliott said. You stick the word AI on anything and it immediately starts pricking ears up. There is so much promotion from certainly the very larger HP, Dells are all going full in with AI. It's the latest buzzword, regardless of whether the end user actually thinks they need it. You're going to sell off the back of it.
Yeah, I think AI is an interesting two letters to put in things. I'm waiting for AI-enabled ice cubes and sugar cubes and stuff. It seems like they're putting it in absolutely everything at the moment.
Okay, sugar cubes might be...
Yes, exactly. Right, okay, so this is what Justin has to say.
VIP has got an edge over everyone else that have Brock. They have Brock. I dream of a world that all disties have Brock at the same time. Long live the Brock. Okay.
Maybe Elliott can go a little bit further on this one. Does Justin need a room with Brock, or is this,
I chuckle when that one came through. Thank you, first of all, Justin. I have the exact opposite dream, which is a world full of Brocks is the polar opposite. That's more of a nightmare for me. But no, so for those who don't know, Neil or Brock's been with us pretty well. He's been there longer than we've been on the site we're currently at. He's been with the business for 25 years nearly now, I think. And forgive me, Neil, if you're watching, I got it wrong. So yeah, he's part of the furniture, and he's a lovely bloke.
The room's another dream, he said.
There we go.
I don't really want to touch that.
Yeah, exactly. We want to keep this a bit more PC than that. So
my dog's watching the show. Let's just...
Yeah, there's a few people saying, even Lewis says everyone loves Brock. So, right, PC Boost. We'll get ourselves on the screen would be a good idea so people know who's talking. So, question from PC Boost.
Target. Are there any new exclusive product lines, B2B only, tech ranges coming in 2025 that resellers should be excited about?
Well, let's change that not to just Target. Let's change that to everyone. So, but we'll start off with Target. I think it's their turn anyway. So, there we go.
I'll let Cory go for this one. This will be this is a good one for him.
We do have we are in talks with a couple of brands that we'd like to bring to market. In regards to stuff that we've already got, probably Logix. Very behind the Logix brand this year. We're in a big push. Truly believe that the quality is in the product, and the warranty that we offer on this it means that you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay, so that's a nice answer. Let's move over to Elliott. Same question for you.
So, if they're talking about the market, not necessarily one I can answer on this. I'm not sure of anything specific that's coming to the B2B market. In terms of VIP, we've just signed up with NZXT. So we're now supplying their products as of this month or last month. We've got a new monitor brand called HKC and Cory, that one of the biggest monitor brands that's coming into the UK in the last 2 to 3 years. And I believe, and I could be wrong on this, so forgive me if I am, we're the exclusive distributor for that brand. And we've got at least 5 or 6 new suppliers in the pipeline as well, that I would like to think at least 3 will be over the line before at the end of our financial year, which is end of June. So nothing I would say that's exclusive to the market as a whole. But in terms of VIP, yeah, we've got quite a few new things coming in, or some of those have already started to come through.
Okay, nice one. Let's move over to Mike. Go on, Mike. Tell us all your trade secrets about all these new products you're getting in.
Well, there are a number pretty much ready to go, but the ink isn't dry yet on the contract. So I'm not at liberty to talk about it, but I'm really excited to. I think I'm coming back on in a few weeks with you guys, and I'm hoping at that point I'll be able to share more details. But yeah, there certainly will be an expansion of our portfolio over the next few weeks.
Okay, that's good, and I'll look forward to seeing what you've got on the show in a few weeks' time. So let's go over then to the. Do you want to do one of your questions? What came in
While you load up more?
Yeah.
All right. Now that Spire are part of West Coast, when are we going to see some of the benefits of that in the availability of new lines?
And who was that from?
That was from Steve B.
Okay, from Steve. I'll stick Spire up then. So I think you're the only ones to deal with West Coast, so I don't think anyone else needs to answer that one.
Okay, well, I mean, we're not just part of West Coast now, we're part of ALSO as well. It's been quite the 12 months for us. When are you going to start seeing the benefits of that? Well, you can now purchase anything that's available from West Coast from us. What we're not doing is feeding out all of their products, because we don't want our website saturated with products that aren't necessarily relevant. We're a specialist distributor, and they are a broadliner. So in terms of crossover, there isn't much, and that's actually a good thing, because it means that we retain our identity as Spire as a specialist, and they do their broadliner thing. There are 1 or 2 brands that we're going to bring across and share, and that will work both ways. West Coast customers will have the benefit of 1 or 2 of our component brands in the not too distant future. But if there's kit that you want from West Coast, you can buy it from us now. What we're not doing is going out there, like I say, and diluting our site and our stock holding with loads of stuff that West Coast do very well themselves.
So basically what you're saying is, if I see, like, say, a keyboard on the West Coast website, I can call up my account manager at Spire, and he can order it in for me.
We will order it in for you. We'll directly ship straight to you. We are doing quite a bit of that at the moment. But like I said, it's all done fairly under the radar rather than massively overtly. But yeah, anything that West Coast hold, we can sell to you, and we can direct ship it straight out of their warehouse to you.
All right.
Okay. Right, let's go to the next question then. Let me just put that on. So you want to read that one out, Jen?
Lot of things happen with distributors now. One of you get bought by big company. Another always changing boss man. This looked like maybe in for small shop distributors.
Okay, I think Mike just covered the getting bought by a big company. I think that was directed at Spire by the looks of it. So we'll go to the boss man question. So that goes to Target, I think. That's the only one I know of what's had a change of boss man.
You did better than I did on deciphering.
Well, I don't think it's really always changing. We've had 3 MDs in 27 years. So I would say it's not always changing. But yeah, I mean, things change, people change, but there is no change as far as we're concerned in terms of what we do, how we act. Our customers are first and foremost in our minds at all times. A person leaving Target doesn't change the culture. it's too embedded. So yeah, don't worry.
Okay, and I think he ended up the question with, this looks like maybe the end for small shop distributors. Do you believe it's the end?
No, not at all. No, there's things that parts of our relationship between us and our customers that have been developed over years and years. It's not the sort of thing that just kind of falls to the wayside. We'll always do our utmost. I mean, things like Logix, for example, that's a brand born out of wanting to help our customers to address new markets. So Logix is a brand of desktop PCs designed specifically for business and fire and security, which hopefully will allow our customers to branch out who their addressable market is as well.
Okay, sounds pretty good. And we'll ask that last same bit to Spire, because you're the one that's been bought out by the sounds of it. So do you think that's going to affect your business?
No, look, I wouldn't be here tonight if that was our attitude. The bread and butter of what we do day in, day out is independence, and it has been for 40 years, and will continue to be. We're absolutely committed to working closely with, and the mutual benefits that come from working closely with independents.
Okay, that's good. Elliott, I know you weren't mentioning that, but is there anything you want to add on?
Not really. I certainly don't think it's the end. I mean, from a VIP perspective, I mean, let's take, which I'm sure will come up at some point tonight, graphics cards. I'm fairly confident VIP's the largest distributor in the UK of any, including broadliners, for things like graphics cards. That's certainly one of. And I know that our product manager, Darren, who, like Neil, has been with us for 20 years at least, I think, and he still makes a point of making sure that a proportion of all cards are allocated to what we call our distribution team, which is small shops, small independent retailers, to ensure that small SIs, small retailers don't get penalised just because a specific partner wants to put all their stock into a Scan or an Overclockers or a Currys or an Amazon, right? So that still happens at our business today, even at £180 million turnover, whatever. It's still a key focus for us, and will continue to be. And if I'm being honest, there's a benefit to that, right? We get, if we sell a graphics card or we sell a CPU or we sell a motherboard, there's a good chance with an independent we're going to get that full basket, or we're going to get more business into them because there's a partnership, there's a loyalty. We don't necessarily get that with some of the big e-tailers and retailers, right? So it's in our best interest as well. But yeah, it's certainly not something that we see as dying off by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Especially when you've got that much money coming in, it's definitely not dying off, that's for sure. So, question.
I said turnover,
yeah,
Phil. That wasn't
I thought you were on about your wage. Sorry. Here we go. So, question from Cheswick Computers, if you want to read that one, Jen.
Sure. I got my first shop in 1987, and there was a clear separation between trade and retail, yeah. Trade and retail. I bought a MacBook for a customer cheaper from Costco than Ingram Micro, and yet Ingram Micro shipped it to me.
And continued.
What can you, as a distributor, do to help bridge the gap in pricing?
Okay, so I can't even remember who was first next, so I'm going to just start with Spire. There we go.
So those discounts are there because they are supported by the manufacturer. They're not supported by us as distribution. That's back-end rebates and SOAs that are applied to the product. So we don't have a great deal of involvement in that terms of things. What I would say is I'm going to rinse and repeat my answer. Speak to your account manager, because there is support available that can be applied in an awful lot of cases that will bring you down cheaper than the prices that you would see at the likes of Costco. So yeah, tap into that would be my answer.
Yeah, definitely a good answer there. Let's take that one to Target as well.
Yeah, I mean, the same kind of thing, really, and if you're after something and you're struggling price-wise, or, you think you just want to ask us, just ask. It's the best thing to do. We've never, ever said that we will be cheapest on everything at all. I don't think any disty can say that. It's just impossible when you've got the whole market out there. But what we do offer is the value add on top of it. So if you have a problem, if you bought a £2,000 graphics card and something goes wrong with it, Amazon are just going to either give you your money back and not replace the card, or they might not do anything in the first place. So it is kind of very much up to us. We would try to do, well, we would do our best to ensure that you got sorted out with a new graphics card.
Okay, thank you. And to Elliott.
Yeah, so I mean, to echo what Mike said, it's very much supplier-led, and it's very difficult. And let me give you the best example where this happens. Until in about 4 hours' time, we change. But as of right now, we are AMD's largest distributor in Northern Europe. And two of our biggest customers are on this call, which is Spire and Target. And that's because the customers that we all facilitate can't sell AMD to someone who's not a supported partner, simply because we can't do it competitively, because they get, as part of the partner program, they get big rebates, and that allows them to get to a certain price. We can't give those rebates because they're not a supported customer, for instance. And so there's a situation where I go to see independent customers and they say, we know that you're big on AMD, and yet why do I have to get my AMD from somebody else? And I said, you're probably buying VIP stock, you're just not buying it from VIP. And that is the irony of this whole scenario, where the nature of the way the supplier manages their pricing and rebates and supporting structures means that often you are better buying it from a reseller, or you are better buying it from a non-direct distributor, for instance. All I can say from VIP side is where we can, we combat that. So one of their big fears is if they give the support up front, what they will find is a feeder will go onto Amazon on a trade platform and trash the market, and nobody wants that. So what we've got to do is work with them, and I know that Spire will do the same, I'm sure Target do the same as well. We work with them to get supported partner lists of independents that we can verify and say, these people will not trash your market. Can we offer the same support that you give to a tier 1 e-tailer or a tier 1 retailer? And we do that day in, day out. We all have call-out days, we'll have support focus days, we get exclusive pricing for independents. And again, that will continue to happen. So yeah, very much what Mike said, where it's very, the bits that are out of our hands, but where possible, we always do our best to combat it.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much answers that one then. So let's go. I think this is more of a statement, but if you want to read it anyway, Jen.
So when getting very large SSDs for less than 4 figures to put these big LLMs on, LOL.
Okay, if any of you understand what that means, feel free to let me know. I'm not too sure what I'm presuming it might just mean big limits. I might be wrong, but if you want to clarify that, Rich, we'll get back to it. It might be a response to something what someone said. Next is Gadget Joe.
Having distributors that can offer experience is an invaluable tool on that side of things. I'm still focusing on the YT.
YouTube.
On YT, of course. But I have bills to pay too. So I'll take all the help I can get.
There we go. So that's good. Welshie Tech saying, to be fair, you all Target VIP Spire have a lot of products already. Okay, let's go to Justin.
A few years back, there was an amazing SOR program available to us. It had its flaws and it could have been refined. Would this be something a disty would consider in the future?
And if anyone doesn't know what SOR means, it's sale or return. And I believe Spire went first last time, so we'll go to Target.
In short, yes, we're open to any ideas like that. The problem we have is that it's managing it is quite time consuming. It's very difficult. You also have to make sure you've got kind of product mixes right so that customers see good sales straight away. So that's something we have to work on as well. You also need a bit of buy-in from whoever the manufacturer is as well. So you need to encourage them. It's certainly something we're looking at for our kind of exclusive brands like Logix, Prevo, and Pixel in particular. So yes, is the answer. If you have any great ideas on how to work it, yeah, please let us know.
I need to squeeze in one of the questions that was sent to us to read out.
That's fine, but these guys have got to finish off this question first. So same question to Elliott. That SOR program.
It's a similar thing to what Scott's. Yeah, it's fine. It's a similar answer to Scott, really. We've had them in the past. We still run them now. The problem we tend to find is if we roll it out on everything, it becomes unmanageable. And also what we want to avoid is just stock going out, sitting on a shelf and 2 months later coming back, because that doesn't benefit us and it doesn't benefit the customer either. So what I would suggest is where a customer has an interest in ranging something, but capital might be an issue, or they want to trial something, they've got a proper business case as to how they're going to make that work and why SOR would support, we'll absolutely do it. What I don't just want to do is go back to the days of 10 separate SOR programs running. Customer ends up spending a lot of time and energy taking the stock and then returning it again. So yes, we do it, but it's a case by case basis, not just a flat.
Okay, sounds pretty good. And Mike?
Yeah, exactly the same as the other two, really. We've done it recently with Harmer to huge success, because their range is vast and people want to try different products in store. So we've done a bit with Harmer, but yet always open to a conversation around it. And it's like I said, as the guys say, it's about building a business case together, that we can all see some merit in that. And if we can get some buy-in from the manufacturer as well to help us with that, then that's great as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. What was that question you got, Jim?
This is for Spire. Spire, your stock levels have been pretty low recently, with shortage of ASUS motherboards and Be Quiet power supplies. When do you expect things to return to normal, or at least available on a regular basis? And that's from Cheswick Computers.
Okay, so we'll go back to Spire for that one, because that was aimed at you, but let's make that more of a general question. So what do you guys do to make sure that you don't run out of stock? So obviously, Mike, you're first.
Yeah, no problem at all. So I think if you check the website today, you'll see that all of that stock is now at a decent level. So Be Quiet, we did wait. So Be Quiet, we bring on a container. So we have to try and forecast 12 weeks in advance. We've had, particularly on the high-end power supplies, to go to the graphics cards, we've had unprecedented demand on those. So Be Quiet is now in, and similarly Asus boards, we can wait. We used to wait a week for Asus boards to land. We're now working off a 3-week lead time, which could be challenging if someone swoops in and takes a load of the stock. Then it does leave us a little high and dry. But yeah, it's just been unprecedented demand that led to that. We're now at good stock levels across both brands, I believe. In terms of shortages that I foresee, and this is where we can try and give you the heads up, I think RAM is definitely going into shortage at the moment. It's, this happens perennially, that we start to run short on RAM. And that's happening at manufacturer level. It's in constraint with most of our vendors now in terms of RAM. So we try and give the heads up where we can to our resellers, but I would just keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks.
Okay, sounds pretty good. We'll just pass on the same question to, actually, let's go to Elliott. You're getting missed out, Elliott. Come on, Elliott. So same question to you. What do you do about what do you do to stop running out of stock, basically?
Well, it made me chuckle, the question, because ironically we were massively overstocked on Asus motherboards in Jan. So I was going to say we could have shipped you those, mate. We had far too, whether it's the right models, granted. Yeah. I think, listen, I'd probably speak on behalf of all the distributors. We've got to be very careful, because for all of us, right, none of us are broadliners, and cash flow is, like for any business, like all the independent retailers, as an independent distributor, cash flow's massive. And so what we can't do, what we have to say to our vendors all the time, we can't hold 12 weeks worth of stock on every SKU for every vendor, because if we did, we'd have no money and we'd go kaput quite quickly, right? So we've got to be very careful. What do we do? Well, we've got automated systems on to make sure generally we're holding 2 to 4 weeks cover, depending on what the lead time is in a product. We work with our vendors on shipments from the Far East to get full containers in, which might be up to 12 weeks worth of stock. And then also all our product managers internally are targeted on out of stocks. In the same way they are in overstocks and excess, they're also targeted on a percentage of SKUs and the hero SKUs being in stock at all times. So that's what we do. But as Mike says, all it takes is 2 or 3 things to be wrong in terms of the projection, and either then you're left short because you didn't anticipate the extra demand, or vice versa, you were expecting it was going to sell really well, and for whatever reason it hasn't, and then all of a sudden your stock ties up in that 1, 2, 3 products, right? So that's the honest answer.
Okay, very good. We'll pass the same question to Target.
Again, it's just repeating exactly the same as VIP and Mike said. We can only go off the data that we have for when we place the next order. You can possibly add a little bit of leeway into that, but if someone comes along unexpectedly and takes you out of stock, there's nothing you can do in regards to that. In addition to that, you've also got to remember that manufacturers also change their part codes quite often. So they'll run down their older stock and new stock. There may be a gap between their old stock being available and then new stock getting released.
Okay, pretty good answers there. And obviously some of them have limited space on warehouses as well, so they can't order 10 million units of the same thing in because they haven't got the room. Let's quickly... Right, it's down to the last 15...
I've got my list.
Yeah. We're down to the last 15 minutes, so guys, if we can do like a quick answer mode now, so a sentence or less on all the questions. So go on then, Jen, what you got?
What support or assistance can distributors provide to a retailer that believes they may be in financial difficulty or have been scammed?
Okay, so Elliott, you're going first this time.
Worst thing you can do is say nothing. Talk to us. We can work with you on a payment plan. As long as we're aware of your circumstances, we'll support you.
Okay, nice answer there. Next would be Mike.
What Elliott said.
Right, okay, brilliant answer there. And Target.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Like Elliott said, don't be quiet. You have to say something.
Tell us.
As someone who has been in difficulty in the past, when we first opened our retail store, the best thing to do is talk to them because they actually do help you out. It might not seem that way, but hiding the problems can make things a lot
Be
worse.
honest.
So be honest.
Be honest. Lay all your cards on the table, and go to the powers that be.
Yeah. Right, let's quickly go through the rest of these chats, the live ones. So, looks like you've got a fan, Cory, from Daz from AML Computers.
Evening, Daz.
Rich was talking about AL models the other on. We've got Nathan saying, hi all, watching from home with the wife. She's a fan tool. Oh, two. Sorry.
Two.
I'm going to get in trouble here now, aren't I? There we go.
Mrs. Nathan, I am so sorry.
There we go. There we go. So, do you want to read this one, Jen, before I get in trouble?
Hey, Target, are you guys any plans to get more suppliers in like MSI and ASUS? Daz at AML Computers, I guess.
There we go. So I think they're saying, are you going to get some more mainstream suppliers in, is what he's trying to say.
We're always looking for new suppliers. I mean, we had lots last year. We started with Strong, really, eArmor, brands like that. But yeah, I mean, I think all disties are always on the lookout for the next product that they want, next brand they want to sell. So yeah, we might have some in the pipeline, but there's nothing signed yet, so we can't really discuss anything, obviously.
Right, okay, let's go on to the next question. So, next one, Jen.
Love Hama. Got some great hose connections from Spire a few weeks ago. They have everything. Okay.
It's true. True, they do. Hose connectors, big seller for us. It's mad. But yeah, we're the sole distributor for Hama in the UK, and so we're now supporting all manner of folk who have been invested in Hama for the last 20 years. So we now have garden centres added to our roster as well.
Okay, there we go. That's something I didn't realise I did. But there we go. Next up, Jen.
If you were only allowed to work with 3 brands across the entire portfolio, which 3 would you choose and why? Oh, that's loaded.
Yeah, that one's loaded. I think we back at... I can't even remember who was last one to go first. Elliott, you're first this time.
Just throw him under the bus,
yeah,
why don't
exactly.
you?
I absolutely love the question. and there is not a chance I'm going to answer.
Yeah, you have to remember, he has to work with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm at TechMax and I'm at the evening do and I've had one too many, you might get an answer, but I have no chance I'm putting it on record.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's good news then, because drinks are free on the evening at TechMax. So if
Yes,
you are
they
there,
are.
you can
There you
have
go. I've
as
done your
many as you
promotion
want
for you
too many.
guys.
But there we
And
go.
that doesn't mean just spirits. That means you can get fizzy pop as well for those of you who do not like to drink.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm pretty much sure that's going to be the same answer from all of them, to be honest with you.
No, let's try though. Let's try, Phil.
Well, if you want to answer that one, then Cory. So, which 3 brands? And they can't be your own brands.
I've enjoyed.
No, that's not fair.
I've enjoyed working with you.
No, it would 100% be our own brands. We can control the narrative and offer better pricing.
Yeah, there we go. And I have a feeling that Spire might say the same thing as well. Then.
What they both said.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, right. Okay. Next question from GP.
Warranty getting worse. Before we return and get credit, now we have to wait weeks or deal with manufacturer. Why we buy from you if warranty so hard?
Okay, so it's basically saying the warranty returns are not very good by the looks of it. It has to wait weeks for a refund or whatever, which I understand from a repair store or a tech. We used to get that quite often, where you got a customer who wants something sorted now, but you've got to wait 2 weeks to get a refund for something you've sent back or something. So Elliott went first last time. So Mike, you're up.
I've lost track of the question there, Phil. What was the question?
Basically, they want to know about how you can handle returns policy better.
Okay, all right, yeah. So look, we are dictated to to a fair degree by the manufacturer, because we have to work to their terms, and therefore we have to, for the most part, we have to pass that through to the customer. Now, if that becomes problematic, and you need an advanced replacement, then that's something we do quite regularly. To cover folk off, but yeah, we are at the mercy. You know, cash flow is cash flow for us as well. So we are at the mercy of the manufacturers. But if help is needed and it's a genuine issue for a reseller, of course we'll step in and we'll help and we'll bridge that gap.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Target.
Same again, as Mike says, we're dictated to by the manufacturers. We do give the manufacturers the option that we will cover the warranty and deal with them directly. And in certain circumstances, in certain cases, such as Gigabyte, recently they've allowed us to take that strain from them. But in many cases, manufacturers just want to deal with it themselves.
Yeah, I know way back when Hitz worked at Gigabyte, he said if I had a problem with the board, that he'd just call him. He could fix most problems on the boards and stuff. And I said, that's fine and everything, but, you know, meanwhile, while I'm trying to get in touch with you, I've got a screaming 16-year-old in my shop about why his gaming PC is going to take a fortnight, you know, to get fixed. So I see both sides of the equation.
Yeah. Anything you want to add there to Elliott?
As Mike says, we mirror what the vendors give us, and just to give you some idea, we lose a lot of money on returns. So it's what I would say is don't be put off by vendors operating their own returns. I actually think that's the best warranty you can get if it's done right. A lot of them now are opening UK centres, and what that means is you get a far quicker turnaround than you would do going through the distributor. So as much as I appreciate it feels a bit off that you buy it from a VO to a vendor's direct, you may find the turnaround significantly quicker that way than going to us to then send it to a vendor to then get it back, etc., etc.
Okay, thank you. Right, we're going to make these really quick questions now. So really quick. So let's have a look. Okay, so which product line is your best sellers? So, and that question's from Welshie Tech. So let's go. Spire, what's your best selling product?
In terms of breadth of products, it would be Harmer. In terms of pure turnover, Azusa are huge for us.
Okay, Target?
Logix. at the moment. Biggest growing thing we've got regards to tradition, probably hard drives, SSDs.
Okay, and Elliott.
Big graphics cards or monitors, I would suggest.
Okay, there we go. Next question. I'll let you read this one, Joan.
Okay.
It's an essay for you.
We won't buy certain brands now for lack of pricing support. When we are investing our own money, we have to be fairly competitive, or we would lose sale to online. Our shop attracts lots of customers from many miles away, so it must be in the interest.
Let's have a look. It must be in the interests. I'm trying to find the question.
It's right above your mouse. I'm trying to.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
Must be in the interest of certain brands to wide the product reach. I think that's what it says.
Yeah, for a wide the product reach. Okay. So I think that's more of a statement than a question, I think, unless anyone's got anything they want to say.
Anyone want
that
to
one?
respond to it?
No? Okay.
Okay.
Rich Creedy asking about non-fizzy drinks. We'll definitely double check on that one and make sure the venue's going to sort non-fizzy drinks out for you, but that's definitely on the list.
There will be water.
Yeah, I think there's going to be orange stuff as well. Water. Yeah, that'll be sorted, Rich. We'll double confirm, treble confirm with the venue that there are non-fizzy soft drinks available. There we go. There'll be vodka. That's not fizzy. Anyway, do you want to answer that one?
Non-fizzy drinks. Let me write that down.
Okay, so this question's from Robert. Why may I find I'm purchasing Lenovo domestic laptops and find they have been on a disty or manufacturer shelf for 12 months? I'm not 100% sure on that one, but Target, you're answering it.
You tend to find on laptops they will produce a certain amount. They do the rounds. They will get older, and as they get older, manufacturers start writing funds into them just to clear them. A lot of the time, it's stuff that they've had themselves for quite some time, and they move it on to the next distributor who has a different portfolio of customers and has a better chance of selling them on.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Do you have anything to add to that, Spire?
No, I mean, it certainly won't have been on our shelf for 12 months. We run a pretty tight ship in terms of stock. We run to 60 and a max of 120 days in terms of our stock holding. So certainly not something that we'd have held of. But I guess if you're getting something that's been there for 12 months, you're probably getting it for a pretty crunchy price, I would imagine.
Right, that's brilliant. Right, guys, we're getting to the end of the show. We're not taking any more questions. I've just got some ones that got sent in before the show. We're just covering those and then call it a night. So let's have a look. Let's go to all of you. Do you need to be VAT registered to use yourselves? So start with Spire.
No.
VIP?
No, just be a registered business.
Okay, Target?
No.
Any benefits for anyone who's not VAT registered about going VAT registered? Obviously, if they're under the VAT threshold, if they go above it, they should be VAT registered anyway. But any advantages you can think of? Anyone?
No, that'd be down to the individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, down to the individual. Very good. Let's have a look. Okay, so take Mac's question, and then I think we'll call it there.
Okay.
So we'll see you're all coming to Tech Max this year as distributors, which is good. What will you be showing off, and why do you think the event is so needed for the industry? So I'm going to start off. Well, they're the sponsors, so we're going to go to Target. Go on, Scott and Cory. You can answer that one.
So who are we bringing with us? So obviously there's Target. There's going to be us there. We're bringing some of our exclusive brands like Logix, Pixel. We'll be bringing the builds guys with us. They're going to be demoing some of the builds. We've got loads of other brands like Strong, Deep Cool, Amtech. We've got Green IT Disposal and Recommerce IT. These are all brands that are they're kind of partners of ours. They're people that we've worked with to develop some of the exclusive brands that we have, like Logix. And why do I think it's needed for the industry? Everybody lives disparately. Everybody is all over the place. Any of these events are a great way of, resellers and vendors and distributors getting together. You guys, the customers seeing products quite often for the first time. It's the community. That's what it is.
There you go. Sounds pretty good. Mike, you can answer the same question.
Yeah, I think getting product under the nose of folk is really important. I think in a retail space, I think it's really good for you to see the packaging as well and get a proper feel for the product. There's conversations that happen. We have our Spire Live event. I'll give a quick plug to that while I can, because we close the deadline for our ballot tonight to come to Spire Live, which is we put everybody up down in Bournemouth for a night. So we do that, and I know Target do their thing as well. But yeah, TechMax is terrific in that we can hit a wider degree of customer. Like I say, product, conversations, and I think crucially there'll be water.
Yes.
There will be.
Yes,
there will be water.
Well, you're on the beach. There should be plenty of water, shouldn't there?
Well, I was just trying to sit here and think of a non-fizzy, non-alcoholic drink, and I came up with
orange juice, apple juice, stuff like that. Cordial.
Yeah, but then you get to I can't have citrus and I can't have this.
We'll figure out. So it'll be fine. There'll be plenty of things there. Okay, Elliott, same question to you.
Well, not decided yet is the honest answer. Ideally, latest and greatest products. We're hoping to have a brand new case that's getting launched at Computex, which is literally a month before TechMax. So hoping to be able to display that, but that very much depends on stock availability. And whatever the case, we'll look to bring any of the new products that have launched either this quarter or will launch next quarter, so that you can get your hands on and see some of the latest products. In terms of why it's needed, echoing what the guys say, I think it's really important that people within this channel are able to get together and see multiple people in one place. It's a much more efficient way for any independent reseller to be able to see what's in the people in their industry. So really good.
That's brilliant. Yeah, guys, if you do get a chance to go into any events, whether it's Spires, Targets, or if VIP do an event, or even, anywhere, to be honest, the amount of opportunities you can get out of networking, I suggest you basically go to all of them if you can. I know some things like, obviously, Spire's got sort of a raffle thing going off, and it can be limited and so forth. But if you can get in there, put your name down, and you never know, you might come across a brand you can work well with, or a vendor there who can specifically help you fit your needs. And it's how we grow our business is by attending these events.
It's the networking side.
Yeah, if we
you will take away more from the networking side than you will anything else. That's at any event.
If we didn't attend the PCR award, not the awards, the boot camps they used to call them,
boot
Target
camp.
open days and stuff, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I suggest you go to all events if you're able.
Yeah, like I said, the networking side. You won't just network with the vendors and the distributor that's holding the show or whomever. You get to network with the people in attendance as well, whether you're just sitting there having a cup of coffee with someone, asking, I'm so-and-so from Chips Computers. What do you do? And then you start forming a connection there, and you might find that this is someone that you can outsource to that does something.
I think that was what I was going to say. I was good. I'd echo that, Jenny. I was going to say that myself. I think what's really nice about these specific events and this specific channel is you're not necessarily competing with your competition. So there's a camaraderie in that. And actually, because you're in different areas and different regions, learning what works for one, you can mimic that. And there's no problem for them sharing that, because you're not going to take their customers, because generally their customers are regional. Not always the case, but in the majority of cases, people have got 1 store, 2 stores, 3 stores. If I'm talking to, let's say, Cory's, they don't want Very or Argos or Amazon knowing what they're doing, because they're in direct competition. It's a really nice thing in this sector that the independents can actually, your best networking often isn't with the vendor or the disty. It's actually going, what works well for you, and you get a few ideas from them and vice versa. So I think that's the bit that's really nice. You're absolutely right. I totally echo that.
There we go. Nice one. Right, guys, we're going to call it there. Sorry, Build IT. You're saying evening all, we're saying bye all.
He's not done his clocks. He's not done his clocks. He's on the old
He's
time.
not got his clock sorted. Yeah. We'll just do any final thoughts. Do you have anything you want to say before we finish the show, Mike?
No, just great to be on, and looking forward to seeing folk at TechMax.
Okay, nice one. Thank you. What about yourselves, Target?
Well, it's our financial year end today, so massive thank you very much to all of our customers this year as well. I'm guessing Elliott's had the same day as we have. But yeah, thanks to all our customers, and as many of them as possible. We'll see you at TechMax.
There you go, and you get to find out your tax bill tomorrow, don't you? Then that'll
Yeah.
be good news for you. Elliott, any final words?
No, just well done to Target if it's their end of year, because that's impressive turning up for this when they've got end of year to sort out. So fair play, well done, gents.
Different department, Elliott. It's all right.
There we go. Right, guys. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Obviously, everyone who's watching, as well as obviously Mike from Spire, Scott and Cory, obviously, for Target, and we've got Elliott from VIP, but obviously mainly the people who have tuned in tonight to watch. We will have a show on next week, Monday, 8 o'clock, if you want to tune in. We've got a show in a few weeks with Mike at Spire, so we're going to learn a lot more about these. You can have a lot more interesting questions for Mike, okay? I challenge you all to come up with a really challenging question for Mike. But don't forget as well, if you like shows like this, we will have, it's going to be called Power of the Distributors, not Battle of the Distributors this year, at the TechMax event, which is on the 27th of June, where you'll get to see, if not these specific people, but representatives from each of these companies, battling it out. Oh, I'm not allowed to use battling out. Powering it out, shall we say then. I'm winding them up here. But basics is we're going to have a show like this at TechMax, so if you want to take part, be in the live crowd and so forth, you can do and ask the questions you want. Okay, anything you want to add, Jen, before we call it night?
No, I would just like to say that someone thinks really, really hard about a question that they can ask that throws the whole panel into I don't knows at TechMax. I challenge you to come up with one of those.
Yeah.
I can't make TechMax, guys, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's just coming now. I can't attend, unfortunately.
Well, all I'm going to say is it says no refunds in the contract.
Yep,
so
it does.
That's fine. Makes it easy for us. There we go. So, right, okay, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thanks again, everyone. See you next week, and see you at TechMax if you don't join us next week. Thanks again, everyone. Good night.
Cheers, guys.